All right, we are ready for this SPM run by LunaEclipse. Take it away.
All right. Hello, everyone. I am Luna. I'll explain a bit more about this run once we start, because there's a lot of prologue. Are we ready to get started? Can we get a countdown? All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! All right, so welcome to Super Paper Mario. This is a game that is both 2D and 3D movement. You can flip between dimensions, which creates for some pretty cool movement and skips. The objective of this category is to complete the flipside pit of 100 trials as fast as possible. And the classic pit percent part means that we're going to be getting the pixel boomer, and that allows us to enter the pit in the earliest intended state of the game. Granted, I'm still going to be entering the pit in an unintended way because it's faster, but, you know, it's the thought that counts. Just got some tech smashing and prologue for about 6 minutes at the start of the run here. In the meantime, do we have any bid wars or donation incentives we can plug?
We do. We have just opened our milestone for the Tears of the Kingdom bonus run. We need to reach $3,250. So get those donations in, and I hope to see that Tears of the Kingdom get reached.
That would be very exciting to see it. Let's try and get there. So, we're being introduced to the main villain of the game, Count Bleck. His goal is to destroy all worlds. Something like that, I don't know. This category doesn't finish the game, so the lore isn't too important. We can leave the worlds to get destroyed, it's okay.
So what exactly is pit percent?
So, the Pit of 100 Trials is, as it may imply, 100 rooms filled with enemies. In every room, the key to leave the room is randomly put inside of one of the enemies, so you have to go around and kill enemies trying to find the key as fast as possible. This here's Tibby. She is our first pixel. She allows us to inspect things with the Wii Remote, which will be taught in a little bit. It allows us to reveal hidden objects such as doors and platforms. You can also get descriptions of enemies, a hint on what to do next. She's your basic, guide you around, help you get to where you need to be character. This is Merlin. He's going to give us our first pure heart and allow us to enter chapter 1. So this run goes to chapter 2-1, and then we head into the pit. Yeah, now we have our first pure heart. We have to go find a heart pillar to put this in afterwards. That will open the door to chapter 1. Now, what the game wants you to do is take this elevator down. That's slow, we just jump down.
More convenient.
Much more convenient. Just, you know, drop down, however far that is, you'll be fine. is our entry to Chapter 1. So that is where we are headed first. Got a bit of back and forth walking to get there. Tippy is teaching us about save blocks here. Hopefully those will not be needed throughout this run, especially as you cannot save once you get into the Pit of 100 Trials, so it'll be pretty useless for about half of the run. Merlin is now giving us the return pipe. This is an item that allows us to return to the area that we are currently in from anywhere in the game, except for a few areas, one being in the Pit of 100 Trials, and the other being in an area in Chapter 7, but that won't be relevant for this run. Here we're getting introduced to the kind of sidekicks of the main villain. We have O-Chunks, the big beefy one. He's the only one that we're actually going to end up seeing throughout this run. Then there's Dimentio on the bottom and Mimi the shapeshifter. I guess we do see Dimentio, but barely. He's in a whole one scene outside of cutscenes. Alright, and now we are getting to start 1-1. Finally. Only took us 7 minutes to get there.
It's similar like to Mario Sunshine with that like long wait to finally begin the game.
Yeah, just a little bit more talking from Tippy, and then we can head off to Vestovius to get the ability to flip into 3D. And that is when the game really starts to open up. Despite being pretty linear still, because it is designed around being mostly 2D. Oh no! This house is empty. Or is it? This is the first usage of Tippy revealing something that's invisible for us. And now we are at Vestovius. He is going to offer to teach us the ability to flip into 3D for 10,000 coins. But, you know, we'll just agree. We're broke, but maybe he'll accept. Looks like he did. We're in luck. So, we immediately start using this ability to grab these items here. They're hidden in 3D. This fire burst here is going to be very important later. It allows us to progress the story. And now we can get through this door that was previously blocked, because we can flip into 3D. We kick a Koopa into several enemies here. See if we get an item drop. And we got a catch card. Not too useful. Stop and grab some coins here, so I can buy a couple things in the shop, just to be a little safe. And coming up in this next room is one of the most important parts of early game, the point grind. If you notice in the top middle, I have a score bar, and as you increase that, you level up and gain health and attack.
Would now be a good time to talk about a bit of Midwest Speedfest?
There we go.
All right.
That was a very good grind.
The best way you can interact with our community and stay up to date with our events is to join the Midwest Speedfest Discord server. Type !Discord in chat to check up on our Twitch bio for a link. You can also check out our Bluesky, which is MidwestSpeedfest.com. And for marathon VODs, you can find them on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/MidwestSpeedfest.
Something that you'll notice throughout the run is this 3D meter that limits the amount of time that you can be in 3D without taking damage. Usually it's fastest to just take the damage anyways, and if you take damage while you're on the ground, you will pause for a minute. So you'll notice me jumping as that bar starts to get close to low. Yeah, now we move on to 1-2. This has the biggest trick in the pit percent run called Green Bridge Skip. It'll make more sense what we're skipping once we see the red bridge, but to kind of explain what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a sign to clip out of bounds, then maneuver along a background theme, then jump onto an invisible plane that allows me to walk into the sky. So up here, grab some extra coins just so that I can get some healing items for safety. That is a very good spot for coins early game. So yeah, as you can see, there's a gap to our right. We cannot cross that right now. So we go into this house and talk to this guy who seems to be... He woke up on the wrong side of the bed. So wrong, in fact, that he's in the entirely wrong dimension. That's quite unfortunate for him. But we are here to rescue him, and as thanks, he will open the bridge for us after we tell him what the best color is. Obviously, it's red. Now we can cross this gap. What you're supposed to do is go to a fellow named Green, and he is a little bit picky. He needs permission from the mayor of the town. To get permission from the mayor of the town, you have to go and, like, get the Pixel Thoreau and go on this long 2-minute side quest, essentially. Going to buy 2 Firebursts here, and then spend the rest on healing items. But yeah, Green takes a while to get to, and we just want to skip all that. So. Alright. Now I need a little bit of quiet here, because this is a bit tough. Alright, that's the first part down. I was jumping over some doors that I got stuck in, so I ran into them. First try, nice. Missed the star block. Kind of hard to get to navigate in the dark there. No way I'm on PV pace. My PV misses that trick like 2 times. So.
Let's get some hype in the chat for that GBS.
So yeah, that little text box there was just telling us, hey, you missed this pixel. He was in a chest in a basement. Here you go, he's with you now. Grab a Happy Flower, Fast Flower, and Pal Pills here. This allows us to triple the points that we get with the Fast Flower. And then grab a bunch of points, so. Could consider that a small point grab. Alright, trying to go for a bit of a faster strat there, but won't be able to because I was a little bit late on the timing of that grab. As you can see, using throw allows you to pick up and throw enemies. That skipped a little puzzle where you had to go up and hit a switch and then sit through a cutscene. Yeah. Now we have a fight against O-Chunks. He's come to stop us. This fight can be a little scary. You want to throw him in the corner and then Shane jumps on him. If he decides to pick you up and throw you, you need to avoid that attack or else you lose a large chunk of time. Yep, he did the attack right there. He's safe here. This is not ideal. That bounced the wrong way. Should be one more. Nope, one more. There we go. Miscounted. So yeah, not too difficult of a fight, just a bit awkward. I'm going to try and do a little skip here called Ice Turtle Skip. That might not have gotten it high enough. Oh, it did. Nice. And another trick in the very next room. What you're intended to do is stand on that blue platform and click like minus and 1 at the same time or something like that. I'm just gonna do that. I'm not entirely sure why that works, but it does, and that's all that matters.
It just works. That's all that, yeah, like you said, that's all that matters.
Alright. I do remember, I need to grab the live stream here.
I was going to remind you. So yeah, don't forget.
Yeah, so what a life stream does is it revives you if you die, revives you at 5 HP. It's pretty useful. It can get you out of some sketchy situations where you would have otherwise died. So yeah, just gonna grab the live stream here. No ladder jump. If you frame perfectly jump or flip dimensions, like right as you leave a ladder, you will get a jump or a dimension flip, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, just gonna go through this door here to grab the key to the door on our left. This is a bit of a puzzle level. When you have throw, if you ever encounter a locked door, you can throw him away, and you save a little bit of time on the door animation. Flip through the wall here. So I can go up here and grab this key instead of having to go to a different room. Oops. And hit a switch to unblock that. Mid-air door here. Just gonna use Tiffy to reveal the platform under that, so we can go in it. So I'm heading left. Get this key in 3D. Grab it with Thoreau for the swag, and to save a tiny bit of time. I can get a ladder flip in this room, potentially. No ladder flip, unfortunate. Switch is going to open the floor, and these girls, I think they're called, are going to fall through. They're going to make a floor for us to enter the next door. A lot of little puzzles in this level. And here we have a block puzzle. If you flip into 3D, you can see the order that you hit these in. No swag strat. And now we are about to head into the first boss fight of the run against Fractale. He is a giant dragon that we have to get on top of. I think he's like supposed to be the guardian of the pure heart, and he's like, oh, you're the hero, I'll just give you this pure heart. And then Dementia's gonna come in and be like, oh, no, I'm gonna make him bad. Something like that. So, we do end up having to fight him, unfortunately. Here's Dementio here to ruin the day. Do you have anything to announce?
I would just like to remind you that we are still raising money for that Tears of the Kingdom bonus run. We need to raise $3,250, so just get those donations in. I know you can do it, Twitch chat.
I agree, let's get those donations in. Even if we could just get like a $2 hype train.
I agree. What should we say with the donation train?
Ooh, what should we say? Say trans rights.
I agree. Trans rights.
Dancing around, waiting for Fractale to come charge at us. Charge this way, tank 3D damage so I can get onto him as early as possible. Now we have to hit him with 3 of the little frackles that he spawns. I'm actually going to wait for a 4th one to spawn. I don't have to wait. Pick this one up. I'm going to use this one to push me while I'm in the air. So I can do that. skip having to throw 3 more. See if we can do that again. Unfortunate. Missed by just a little bit. Not too big of a time loss, so. That is the Fractal fight done. Now we are going into a bunch more mashing through story text. So now is a great time to get up, stretch, get some water, stay hydrated, make a donation or two.
I agree. You're talking to this person here. She's going to give us the pure heart, allow us to enter chapter 2 once we get that into its respective heart pillar. She has a lot to say because it's been like a century or something since anyone has talked to her. If I had to go a century without talking to anyone, I would have a lot to say as well. So I can't blame her. Now we get the pure heart. You get to see our pixels do a little dance. So Twitch chat is wondering if you're going to be doing BSE.
I will, in fact, be doing BSE. At least, I will be attempting it. Let me say that.
Very valid.
So, for reference, what BSE is, it stands for Blue Switch Early. What I'm going to do is clip into the background. I don't actually know how it works. There's some people in the community that definitely do. I'm sure there's someone in Twitch chat that can explain it. But basically, I can flip while just barely in the air, and I can hold down to push myself further back on the Z-axis, which is your 3D rotation. And using that, I can clip into a piece of the background that sticks out a little bit more, and then get far enough back to go into the actual background that you enter normally by taking a pipe, and hit a switch. So it skips having to go down the pipe and walk all the way over there with your slower movement, because you're supposed to be like way far in the background. So right now we're playing as Peach. She has woken up in Complex Castle. She's trying to escape. Obligatory mention, there could be a massive sequence break here if we could just get a little bit more height to jump over a wall in the previous room. But unfortunately, there does not seem to be a way to do that. Enjoy this time as Peach, because she will be seeing a whole 4 times throughout the run. The next 2 times for very, very, very minimal amount of times, because she walks a lot slower than Mario and does not have the ability to flip into 3D. What she does have is the ability to use her parasol to float, which will be used a couple times. So yeah, now she gets magically teleported out. I wonder who could have done that. I wonder if there's another character that has the same teleporting animation. We'll never know. 'Cause we'll never get to another point in the story that it that it's relevant. So yeah, now we need to go to Merlin, tell him, hey, we got our next pure heart. Where do we go? So this time we do actually take the elevator. No jumping off the tower this time. But don't worry, there will be more of it. So yeah. We gotta head into Merlin's house now. Talk about where to go next. What's going on. This dude comes in, it's like, Merlin, Merlin, a girl fell out of the sky. And obviously, that is cause for concern, because she, unlike Mario, did not seem to survive the fall. But, yeah, that doesn't concern us too much right now. We're just gonna go the other way. I'm sure it'll be fine. Just head on down here. I'm gonna head over to Saffron. We can cook up one of the fire bursts that we got into a spicy soup. Gotta be careful with my menuing here so I don't accidentally cook the wrong thing. Oh, I could've just went out, that would've been faster. Whatever. Yeah. Just gonna make us a delicious soup. It's very spicy. And not that. And we take the return pipe back to the top of Flipside Tower. And we throw ourselves off again. And now we get to see, oh, the girl that fell out of the sky, that's Peach. Oh no, what are we gonna do?
Oh.
We have to make sure she's okay.
Yeah.
This is not a good situation. Then Merlin's like, oh, I know, a spicy soup would be the perfect cure for this. So we force feed her the spicy soup to wake her up. And now we just get to explain where she ended up.
Yeah.
We get teleported back to Merlin's house here, where he's going to give us an old key to open a lock on a gate that'll allow us to progress further. The first Peach is like, well, you know, I need to go with. So Peach joins our party. So yeah, there's that key. Alright, say hi to Peach really quick. Alright, now say bye to her, because she is not needed. In fact, Mario is required immediately after you get her. Now we are headed to the second heart pillar. The 3D timer can be a little bit tight here. No damage, nice. I'm gonna take this squiglet here, gonna throw him onto that little ledge, and jump off him. You're supposed to use Peach to float across those gaps, but that's slow and boring. Why not do it the cool and fun way?
I agree. Do we have time for one donation?
We do.
All right. Well, we have a $50 donation from Tammy. It's been an amazing marathon so far, and more marathon is always better. So let's finish strong and meet the goal for Tears of the Kingdom.
Let's do this. Yeah. Now we are able to head into Chapter 2. We are going to play most of the way through 2-1 to get the next pixel Boomer, who will allow us to enter the Pit of 100 Trials. Alright. Say hi to Peach again. Alright, now say bye again. Let me grab another key from this room here. Did not take damage there. Sometimes that Koopa will hit you as you're falling. Ice Storm, that's a huge drop. That'll be very nice for later. So yeah, enemies in this game can randomly drop items. Some of them very useful, others very not. Alright, now it's time to see if I can get Blue Switch early. Got it, and saved a little bit of time over it too, by falling off there and getting teleported back here immediately.
Nice.
It's just a bit more hold right. I don't know why I bounced off that guy. Normally I don't. You also notice me turning around at regular doors. That does save a little bit of time. We head down this pipe to go get Boomer. Boomer is another pixel that you can skip, but the skip is pretty difficult, and it doesn't actually end up saving time in this category. Especially because you use a shell shock for it, and there is a spot at room 89 that we can use a shell shock to save a large amount of time. So yeah, here's Boomer. He's gonna ask us like 8 questions or something. The answers don't matter. He just wants to get to know us a little bit better.
Me.
He's very slow with the questions as well. Alright, and he decides, hey, I think you're a cool dude. I'll join you on your adventure. And that is everything we need. We are now able to enter the pit. Just have to head back to Flipside here. Game warns us quick, like, oh, be careful, if you go back to Flipside now, you'll have to, like, replay to get back to here or something. But that doesn't matter, because we are not going back there. So what the game intends you to do to be able to get into the Pit of 100 Trials is you go back towards where the second heart pillar was. Then you need to break some blocks to enter a pipe. And then you have to, like, reveal some hidden blocks with Tippy and jump across them and walk down this long hallway. But that's really slow. We're just going to use the fact that you can pick up Boomer while you place him down and throw him. Just a little short. This is a little bit precise. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong here. Hope I don't have to end up going around. There we go. Took a few more tries than it really should have. Switch back to Boomer. You can see it's a little bit faster in the pit. And now we are in. It's go time.
It's go time. We should get $5 donations for some good lucks.
That's a really good first key. So like I said, the key isn't a random enemy. They spawn mostly randomly. The location of the blocks is always the same every single run, and there's only so many places that the door can be in. It's more likely to be in some places than others, so you can get a feel for generally where to go. There's also a tool called the Pit Viewer, which... Oh, okay, that was a really nice key. That shows you all possible door locations and the probability of it being there. Grab some points off these guys here. The first major level requirement is 60,000 points by room 25. Otherwise, you do not have enough attack power to kill the chain jump in that room. You can use a shell shock. Ooh, cake mix. I'll take that. I'll throw out this catch card. That's not going to do me any good. Nice. Just gonna flip the 3D to get past this barrier here. Head straight into the door. Looks like they're all three to the right. I'm getting very lucky with keys right now. Which is always something you love to see. Hopefully means this run's gonna be fast. Nice key. Don't have to go all the way around to get up to that strong up there. A lot of enemies in this game have funny names. It's like Squoing-oing, I think the second strongest version is Boing-oing, and then you have Zoing-oing. Squig, Squog, Squiglet. Dried shroom, that only heals 1 health. Not gonna go out of my way to pick that up. Oh, I guess I'm picking it up anyways. So, poison enemies, such as those poison shovels there, will almost always drop a heal item. Usually it's a dried shroom, but sometimes you can get a better heal. So, every 10th floor we have a rest floor, where you can encounter an NPC named Flim. Oops. Oh, key wasn't even in there. Sad. Nice. Don't have to go all the way around. It's always annoying when you get the last key. Last enemy has the key. It's called last key. You have to usually go way out of your way to get it. The enemy is just never in a good spot. Loses a ton of time. The more enemies in a room, more a last key sucks. This just means more things that you have to kill. Because I have the 60k level up, I can kill these, what are they called? Clefs. I can kill these clefs without needing to use Boomer, which is nice. Okay, nice key. I don't even know how many this is. Okay, marathon luck, I guess. If this continues up, we're gonna be like 20 minutes under estimate. I didn't mean to get that key first, but I did. Coming up on the floor after this one, there is a Koopa Troll, who is a very, very high defense enemy. I think he has like 2 or 3 defense, which for this point in the game is a lot. Hopefully the key... Okay, the key is not in him. We did not get Koopa Trolled. Hello, Flim. Do you have anything for me? I'm not gonna buy anything here. I would have liked to be able to get that Mighty Tonic, because that increases your attack power, which is super useful later. Nice. I can use a Fire Burst here to kill all of these Spinies at once. These guys usually take 2 hits with Boomer to kill. No, the one on the top wasn't in. That's sad. At least it was in one of those, so. Didn't end up mattering too much. These are boos. They are afraid of you if you're looking at them. They're a bit of annoying pests sometimes. They're usually not too bad to deal with. Unlike a certain enemy coming up in a few floors that... It has a 50% chance every single time you jump on it to turn into a bomb instead of actually taking damage. And then it'll spawn back somewhere else. it is by far the most annoying enemy type in the game. The ninjas. So those are in 36, I think. Yeah, there's nothing to the right there. Not the greatest key, but after all those first keys in the first 20 floors, I cannot complain. Okay, chain jump really close to us. Gonna take 2 hits. See, can we get flipless? Flipless, yay. Nice first key. These daisies here, they put you to sleep. Let me out. You can maneuver around those pipes in 3D. This is one of the squiglet rooms. Nice doors on the floor so I don't have to flip back.
I was thinking maybe we can have another donation train of your favorite enemy in Super Paper Mario, and then I'll try my best to pronounce the names if it's one of the weird ones.
I haven't really thought about my favorite enemy. These are Robus. I'm pretty sure these are in the wrong room because there's a room later with its weaker variant, the Javis. Alright, looks like I'm gonna have to go through that pipe. In general, you want to avoid going through pipes unless you absolutely have to because this animation is very slow. I'm gonna do something slower but cooler. Just gonna go through the wall. This game's walls are pretty paper thin, no pun intended, a lot of the time. Not even gonna check that shot because I don't have enough coins for a Mighty Tonic if there were to be one, and my inventory is full otherwise. Use Boomer on these guys, it's Tyloids. These guys will stick to the floor and ceiling wherever they go. They can be pretty annoying, especially the yellow variant, because the yellow variant is much faster. Looks to be a last key. Long-aiders, otherwise known as long lads. These are really fun enemies. They're definitely up there on my list. These are Cursias here. They will curse ya. Some of the effects I can give are flipping your left and right. They can de-jump you so you can't jump. There's even one type of Cursia that sends you back to flip side like the return pipe does. Luckily, none of those are in the pits, so don't have to worry about accidentally getting hit by one of those and ruining the entire run. And I think there's one more type of Cursia. I don't remember though because I don't really encounter it aside from one room.
I would like to remind you that we are still trying to reach that bonus run of Tears of the Kingdom. We need to reach $3,250 to unlock that bonus run. So get your donations in.
Uh-oh. I'm in danger. I might heal if I take another hit. Nothing in this area of the pit deals 4 damage, though, or more, so don't have to worry too much yet about dying. Now come over here? Nope. Okay, doesn't matter. He was there anyways. My next level up is at 90,000 points, so 7,000 away. Hopefully I can make it there without having to use a heal, but... Oh, the ninjas, here they are. Nice! I am very glad to get a first key in this room. Yeah, let me heal. I don't want to use my life stream this early. I was hoping to be able to squeeze through those guys and make it out. One interesting thing about these Buzzy Beetles is if you kick them off screen, they will not despawn. Unlike all the types of Koopas, which will despawn as you kick them off screen. Alright, we have Magic Koopas in this room. They can be quite annoying. I don't have to deal with them yet, though. Oh, maybe I do. Just one of them. Alright, and we are right up against that level up. Got introduction of Fire Bros here. And we got the level up. And the key. Making pretty good pace. Not entirely sure what the pace is. If you have a Mighty Tonic, I would love that. Thunder Rage? I will get that. That is nice too. That is also good for 86, which is a room with a bunch of Koopa Trolls. So if you don't have any attacking item or damage increasing item, they can be a bit of a pain. These are Clubbas. They suck. Their clubs are giant and they get in the way. And they are very tanky enemies. That was close. That guy almost sniped me. If you don't throw another second, I can hit you. Nice. Ah, last key. Oh, maybe not. Yep, last key. Not too bad of a rune to get last keyed in, though. No enemies in there that take multiple hits to kill. These are Koopa Strikers. They are soccer-playing Koopas. I don't know what the lore is, but that's what they do. Not entirely sure where the door is. Okay, it's here. The Koopa Strikers aren't too bad, but their variant later on, Super Strikers, I think is what they're called, they deal 5 damage a hit, and as you can probably see, they kick a lot of projectiles, which can get crazy fast. Nice first key. Tyloid rooms are super annoying. We'll always love to get first keys there. Egg!
Egg.
Always love a good egg drop. Oh no. Okay, good thing I got that Dread Tune so I can heal from that poison immediately. Poison will slowly give you damage over time. See if we can jump over that one. Nice.
While Luna is still doing more of these rooms, we want to remind you that Midwest Speedfest 2025 is supporting P-Fund Foundation's Transcend campaign. The Transcend campaign is in its third year of existence. This is perhaps the most critical moment to rally resources and support for trans plus people. This campaign is raising funds for distribution to partners across the region, doing on-the-ground work to protect and assist transgender and gender non-conforming people. When you take steps to visibility support trans plus people, you can play a crucial role in protecting their lives. Together, we can rise above hate and provide necessary resources to help trans plus people from across the region live full, safe, and affirmed lives.
Trans rights.
Trans rights.
We are almost at the next rest floor. Not looking like a good room here. Unfortunate. Yeah. Nice to get the points from that room though. In fact, I'll kill that guy too. Or not. I jumped over him accidentally. So yeah, these chests here contain catch cards. I don't remember exactly what the flip side hit ones contain, because I haven't opened them since my casual playthrough. But, you know, they contain catch cards of something.
We'll say
Okay.
we are halfway through.
We are. Although, as enemies get stronger and have more health, it does tend to take a little bit longer in the second half. I believe this floor is where my first ever pit run died, fun fact. Looks like I've got to go through the pipe to get to this door. Not ideal, but most of the door spawns in this room are up in this corner, so it makes sense. And 3,000, actually just over 2,000 score away from the next level up. So ideally, I don't use a heal here. I bait you. Bait that one. These are Spanios. They charge at you. Yeah, not much else to say about them. Kind of annoying. Level up and key again. Clavas and dry bones in this room. Luckily, that 120k level up did give us another attack power, so the clavas go down quicker. See if we can get both of these guys with Boomer here. No, come back! Oh, you get another hit. Dry bones just run at you. You need, I think, to use a bomb attack or a fire attack for these guys. Maybe lightning, other status effects can work. I'm not 100% sure because I pretty much always use Boomer for these guys. or despawn them completely if I'm running the boomerless category. This room here with the polygons, it's either a first key or a last key room, I've found. I almost never get second key. With dark boos, they are like regular boos, but they will flip into 3D and back. Alright, let's test the theory. It's always in the Cursia. That was a lie. It's not always in the Cursia. That room likes to have you kill all the dark boos and then find out that it was in the Cursia the entire time, and then every time you go for the Cursia first, it's not there. Alright, this room can be a little bit scary. That Amazy Daisy up there does 20 damage if it hits you. So when your max health is 25 and you've been taking damage, you kind of just have to pray that it's not in the Daisy. Thank God. Yeah, it also has, I think it also has 20 health as well. So it is a hard-hitting tank of an enemy. These weird looking teleporting enemies here are Magiblots. Teleport out and shoot a magic attack at you. You will see a lot more of those guys later, especially in room 99. There's a ton of them, and it's really nice for points. You have anything for me, Flim? I'll take that Mighty Tonic. Just give myself plenty of options for if I get into a pickle. Those are beatboxers, I think. They shoot out these projectile attacks at you. Can I get both Cursias? I can. Yeah. They're a stronger version. I think they're called beatboxers. Do 6 damage if they hit you, so it can be pretty scary. These dull bones can be kind of annoying. Alright, looks like it's in one of the dull bones here. Oh, maybe not. Long last shake. Ew. What that does is it heals you slowly over time after you do an action command. It's extremely slow. Is this the last one? It is. I'm gonna do something funny. I'm just gonna go up here and stick him out of bounds. Hello? Is there another Garku in this room? Why didn't that work? That's weird. That should have counted him as despawn. Huh. I'm not entirely sure why that didn't work. Maybe they need to be standing up for that to happen? That's not good. I'll use my Shroom Shake here. Save the egg, which is a 12 HP heal for hopefully a little later. Where's the key? All the way down here. Next level up is 160,000, so still a ways to go. Here are these yellow Tyloids that I was talking about earlier. They are super speedy. Oops. Catch these guys. Oh, not the yellow one. Okay, doesn't matter. He was there. Still doing pretty solid on time. That's a Blomiva. I don't know how to pronounce it. Yeah, they will duplicate, and you have to find the real one and kill it. Same thing with their two other variations, one of which was in that room, but we didn't see it. Hopefully I can make it to the next level without needing to heal. The long lads are back! And they brought their red variant this time. Oops. These guys are funny. Annoying to deal with, apparently. Looks like I'm gonna have to flip twice here. That's unfortunate, but not much you can do about it. Last key. That's all good, though. Got us a lot of points, which is very nice. Oh, if I don't level up here, I might want to heal. Hammer Bros, please. Okay, good, I leveled up. The next room is the one with the Super Strikers. So, going into that room with any less than, like, 15 health can be really scary.
Just as a reminder, Tears of the Kingdom bonus game will be unlocked at $3,250. So please keep getting those donations in. We only need $500 more dollars until we unlock it.
Just do that little trick again. Avoid having to deal with all of those Super Strikers. Gladly get out of dealing with those. Another Flim. I don't know what the chances of him spawning are, but it's not super high. These are Moonclefs. They have spikes on their heads, so you're not able to jump on them unless you use Boomer. Alright, time to go back to Boomer. This is the Javis room. I'm pretty sure these guys are the weaker version of Ravis, but I'm not 100% sure. I could be wrong with that. This is the Cursia room. That's not what I meant to do. I'm gonna lose some time to show this off. There we go. If you use Boomer and flip as he explodes, he will kill every enemy on the same level as him. These things are really annoying. They can flip into 3D if they choose to, and so many times they just don't want to come out of 3D. So they'll just sit there, and you either have to try and hit them in the air in 3D, or you have to like, wait for them to flip back to 2D. These are rough puffs. They can be really scary if you're on low HP. They are a very common cause of the 0 HP glitch, where if you take lethal damage on the same frame that you hit an enemy, your HP will be set to 0. And if you have a life stream during that, I've heard one person say it eats the life stream. I've heard other people say it just doesn't let you use the life stream if you die naturally, so you're forced to like actually use a heal if you get down to 0 HP glitch. I had to die to that yesterday. These are the beatboxers, I think is what they're called. They do 6 damage. Nice, that was really cool. It's really nice when you get an enemy, especially a tall one, under a ceiling, so you can just chain hits on it really quickly. One down there, nope. They like to spawn in that little corner there.
Could I give a quick shout out to charity?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright. Midwest Speedfest would like to give a special thanks to Speed Stuff for Charity, a speedrun marathon team dedicated to annually raising money for charities. They've raised over $15,000 in their 8 years of doing marathons, and they plan to continue for as long as there's interest. Follow them on Twitch at twitch.tv/speedstuff4charity and Twitter at SS4C Marathon.
So the enemies with the dots around them, they can flip into 3D with you, and unfortunately that means you can't do Super Boomer on them, the trick that I showed in floor 73. Do I even want any of this? I guess maybe a heal? Heal will be nice, but I have every attack item that I need, I think. I'm pretty set for the rest of the run, to be honest. Can I get that guy? Kind of. That's not good. Okay, nice key. I'm 2.5k points away from another level up. That's probably going to be my last, like, natural level up. There are 2 level ups that I'll probably get. Yeah, say hi to all the magic lots in this room. There are 2 level ups that I'll probably get because of rooms where you can just farm a lot of points, and that just happens to be the fastest way to deal with the room. Just over here. There we go. There's another one still? Wow. Yeah, a lot of the teleporting enemies and flipping enemies they can be annoying if they choose to be. Nice first key. Hello, Pink Fuzzy. This room is infamous for pixelless runs, where you do a glitch to be able to get to the pit immediately, because this is the latest room that you can possibly softlock on because of these schlorps here. Normally you need Boomer to be able to defeat them. It's that one. But using Throw, you can throw them out of the map and despawn them. But in Pixelless, you kind of just have to pray that the key isn't in one of them, because then you just get soft locked. This killed many, many good Pixelless runs. It's 85. A lot of poison pokies here. I did not mean to go through that pipe. I don't know how I went through that pipe. I don't think I even clicked the left. I thought I was holding a right. You know, it works. Yeah. Maybe the game was just trying to tell me that was where the key was.
We love to see it.
Alright, this room sucks. No other way to put it. I'm gonna start by using my Thunder Rage here. It's not the best spot in the room to use it, but getting out of this area without getting hit might be a little bit difficult. And I hope the key is in one of them. It doesn't actually kill the Koopa Trolls, you have to do an extra hit of damage. The key was in that one, that's really good. The door's somewhere down there. Luckily there's no 3D enemies in this room, so if you're ever in a bind, you can just flip to 3D and be relatively safe. Don't flip. No! No! There's a lot of you. Oh. Of course, they're gonna make me go into 3D to get them. Okay. That could have been worse. Some more enemies in the Ninja family here. Not gonna say what I want to say. I will wait till the last room that has them. This is a room. There's 29 headbonk Goombas in this. And they all have 1 HP, they do 2 damage, and they just shock themselves at you. And it's quite nice for point farming. Am I gonna get a last key here? No, I'm not, okay. I think I've only ever gotten a last key in this room once, and it is just the worst feeling in the world. Alright, no more shopping. That's the last rest floor.
Good luck.
How do I want to go about this? That's a really awkward spot for this dude to be in. Just trying to get Boomer down there. Because the rest of this floor is blocked off, so I can't just like go around. That's not gonna get any. There we go. Please have the key. Nope, okay. To wait for this one. That's unfortunate. Still making really good time overall. Nice first key! And I managed to avoid all those. I hope you guys can see why these enemies suck. Please don't hit me. No! I might just use an item on these guys. Okay. And of course they didn't even have the key, so that was just not worth my time at all. I had surprisingly good RNG with them not turning into bombs, though. I guess you gotta find the positives in not the greatest of situations.
Could I read one donation?
Go ahead.
All right, we have a $75 donation from our good old friend Gooby.
Yeah.
This is the revenue from our Twitch subs and bits throughout the Midwest Speedfest 2025. Thanks everyone, and let's meet that Tears of the Kingdom bonus run.
Yeah, let's get that met.
We only need $425 left for that to be unlocked. So keep getting those donations in. I know we can do it.
We can do that. Doors top left. Please move. Thank you. I could flip these guys down, but... I am okay with using my live stream at this point, so I'm not gonna heal. Yeah, that checks out last key here. Oh, this room is terrifying. It's the hardest room in the run. So glad I didn't die there. It's such a scary room. These are red chomps. Can I get all four on screen at once? Get that one charges. I can! This is what that ice storm all the way back from that one squiglet was for. Where's the door? Down there. Alright, 99.
Almost there.
Should get a level up here. You get a lot of points from these guys, because they just all spawn on top of each other if you stand in the corner there. Alright. On to the final fight. Grand Floor 100. Racktail here. Much harder version of Fractail. He does 10 damage if he ends up hitting you. And the Rackles that he spawns do 5 if you run into them, 10 if you get hit by their projectiles. Let's change to Thoreau here because I think I need him. World Dance.
Gotta read a donation while
Yeah, go
we're
ahead.
fighting.
Just
Alright,
stand
we
right
got a $50 donation from Cinder. Just a Midwest princess watching Midwest Speedfest.
Yeah.
And we're
Alright.
so close to 3K. We only need $125 more for that $3,000.
We can do this.
We
Let's
can
get to
we can
3K.
so do it by the end of this run. Get those donations in.
Let's do it. We still got a couple minutes left here. Alright, I'm going to use this Fire Burst here. That'll do 5 hits of damage to him. You need to do 10 each phase. And say hi to Peach again.
Hi, Peach.
Alright, that's the first phase done. So earlier in the Fractal fight, I had to like pick one of these guys up and then use it to push me. Uh-oh. I did not get a jump. That was weird. Not too big of a deal though. Grab these guys, throw them, don't get hit. That's a big one. Ooh, yeah, got hit. Three. It's not counting my hits. Okay. Alright, let me get these guys out of the way this time. There we go, got the jump. And just float down there, get the last 10 hits like... That is not time yet. Time is going to be when I leave the room. That is the run done. This went so much better than I was expecting. I was not expecting to even get a 130 anything, let alone a 132. Get to grab our reward here, Dashel. As you can probably infer by the name, he allows us to dash. So yeah. Time is going to be when this pipe transition fades out. Alright. And time. $132.47. That is very solid, especially for a marathon setting. So yeah, you can find me occasionally streaming at Twitch, Switch. Oh my god, I can't talk. Twitch.tv/LunaEclipse_4. If you want to learn this game, there are plenty of categories, some short, some medium length, and some long. The community is very helpful with learning. It's a good place to be. So yeah, that's all I have. You ready to send it off? All right.